everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I thought I would join you from my desktop computer. I've had a little tidy up for you because it's often a mess, and I thought it would be really fun to show you really close up how I design a project. The project that I'm working on right now is our new office, and so I have to design this on top of all of our clients' projects, and I'm using some new software to try and stay on top of all the organisation. I thought it was just a good opportunity to show you all the joinery elevations, the hard finishes, all of the designs, and then I'm going to take you to the office as well so you can see all of those samples in the space. And I'm also going to share with you, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to share with you some of my best suppliers, so stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. I'm using Milanote to organise all the designs and the whole creative process for our new office. So I start off on the main design concept, and this is very similar to how we work on our clients' projects. So you can see I've got a mood board, and then I've used one of their columns just to organise some of the different hard finishes we've got. And within this same board, we've also got some subfolders. So here we've got joinery drawings, and I'll show you the desks, for example. What's great about Milanote is that it's very collaborative, so I can work with all my team on the same platform. You can add comments, so here I've added a comment 4 days ago. Please check the quantity of sockets is sufficient, cable management or concealed. One of my team members, Anthony's, replied to me saying all concealed, 2 number double sockets. So it's really a great way, it's very visual, but it's also great at working in collaboration with other people, whether that's your design team or your client, or even your friends and family, whoever it is that you're hoping to work with on your creative project. I also enjoy the fact that I can see all of these drawings here all in one page, and I feel like it's a really good way of organising your creative process, because when I'm being creative I get so many ideas, it's sometimes hard to channel that into a direction, but I feel like this has really streamlined that process for me because I can see all my ideas in one space. They also have an app of the Milanote, which is great for people like me because I'm always working from my phone. So here I've just uploaded an image from something that I saw on Instagram, and it's already updated to the desktop. And then you can just take that and drag that onto your mood board. So it's a really good way to keep staying creative whilst you're on the go. I think what I love best about Milanote is how visual it is, but also how it really helps me feel organised. So although you can have all your beautiful pictures to look at, you can also have to-do lists, the subfolder feature, and also the fact that you're able to collaborate with your team members and continue to work with it on the go from the mobile app. Thank you to Milanote for sponsoring today's video. I've really enjoyed using it to design the new office, and if you'd like to try Milanote for yourself, you can sign up for free using the link in the description box, and let me know in the comments how you get on. And that's goodbye from us. So we're just on our way to the new office, and I've got my basket of samples in the boot, so we're going to check out everything in situ, make sure that they all look how we thought they would look with the colour conditions and all the natural light that we have there. I'm just really excited. I love going there. I probably go there like once a week, and not really for any reason because the building work hasn't started yet, but hopefully the building work should start in a week, and when that happens I'm going to go there every night because I'm just too excited. So I'll film all the progress as it's happening and share it with you guys. It's going to be like the best thing ever. Honestly, I can't wait. So we've just come to the new office, and I've got my trusty box of samples because I want to check all the samples that we looked at in the old office earlier today and just make sure they look good in situ. I always think you have to check them in the light conditions because it can completely change everything. So I've got a few things set out, and I'll just put this down and I'll show you what we're going to pick. I actually haven't decided, so you're going to be seeing me decide in real time. The biggest change, and probably the thing that I'm most excited about right now, is the flooring. So you can see right now we've got these really small dark format tiles in the hallway. And I feel like tiles is the right way to go because we've got a lot of traffic coming in and out of here, a lot of office dogs clip-clopping in and out. So as much as I would love to have a timber floor, I feel like that's not the right choice long term. Now I did say probably about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago on YouTube that I would never do a fake ceramic, porcelain, wood effect type floor. Well, I'm going to eat my words because Mandarin Stone have got this design, and I'll link it in the description box, and the texture, the pattern, like it just looks like timber floor, and it is so much more practical. You know, you don't need to worry about it scratching or marking. I love that it's a big format tile, and the great thing with this tile is where this building is octagonal shape, it works really well following the pattern of the walls. So some of the team have put a floor plan together and we've plotted on there exactly how the tiles fit, and it works perfectly. So I'm really excited about this, and I think it's going to make the space feel so much brighter. Next thing is the walls. The previous owner loved a lot of grey, and a bit of grey is okay, but not grey everywhere. So we're going to change the walls as well. And I've got all the samples laid out here. So for the walls, I didn't just want to do a painted finish. In our current office, we have this one, and it is by a company called Marmo Stucco, who I work with for years. They do a lot of my clients' projects as well. And I really like this. We've had it in the office for about, I'd say 7 years, and it hasn't marked at all. And there's a lot of people going up and down the stairs. So I can definitely vouch for this from a practicality perspective. Speaking completely honestly, what I don't love about it is this is the worst it will ever look, but you see how it looks a little bit glittery in the light? I really didn't want that look of anything being blingy or glitzy. I want a really earthy, sort of sophisticated, not that this isn't sophisticated, but a very earthy feel. But what I think is good about it is that it's practical. So I've got this as another option, and then I asked them to send me some other samples, which I'm going to check out with you now. This is, what is this one? So this is polished plaster. It's Lime Eco plus Sealer. I'll show you what that is in case any of you guys like it and you want to get in touch with them. This is option number 2. I'm going to have to stand up because my old knees can't handle it. Now for me, although I don't know if you can see that up close, it does have some interesting brushwork, and the sealer gives it a bit of a sheen, which I kind of like. I don't think there's enough happening there to warrant spending the extra money rather than just doing emulsion paint, so that is a no. Option number 2. Now what is the difference between these ones? Okay, that was a Lime Eco Plus Sealer. This is a different colour. Okay. So here, because it's darker, and this is something you'll find with like lime wash paints or polished plaster, the darker you go, the more you see the movement in it. You can see more movement, but I still don't necessarily feel it's enough. Right now what you're seeing, this is the most dramatic version. In a minute I'm going to show you what these look like on a darker wall where it doesn't have direct sunlight. Still not enough for me. So, next option. This one we've had in our office, in our current office, lying around for a while, and I do love it. This is a proper plaster. Let me show you what that is. This is a Marmarino polished plaster sample. That's got some beautiful movement in it. I think that would look amazing because I want to do the Sophie Paterson Interiors bronze letters in here, and I really have this vision of it being against an interesting texture, and I think that makes it a lot more sort of bougie rather than just against a painted wall. This would look amazing. However, Marmo Stucco have told me it's not as practical as the perlata. The perlata you can just touch up, you can wipe it clean. If this gets damaged or marked, you can't patch it in, you have to redo the whole wall, and I'm not interested in doing that. So sadly that's a no, but I wanted to show you anyway. I think it would be great for a residential home. This I love. Oh, if this was practical, I would 100% go for this one. I mean, not to say it's not practical, but if it was as practical as the perlata, that is just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, I'm probably going to watch this back and think, oh, I made the wrong decision. I love it. All the like pitting in it. It's really, really nice. Again, would look amazing with the bronze lettering. But I'm just thinking, where this is a bit of a narrow hallway, I don't want to be fussy. I don't want to like worry when the dogs are coming in and out and they've like been in the rain, if they shake on it. I just want to be able to relax a bit in the space. I think interiors need to look beautiful but practical as well. So sadly, I'm going to say no to that one. It is also more costly to do this, and I'm trying to rein myself in. I'm not very good at budgeting, especially when it comes to myself, because I've got expensive taste. But this, I think, is the winner because I know how practical it is. I think it's going to really lift this space. It's so much brighter. I love that it really has that reflection of the light. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on a dark wall. So here, you can see where it hasn't got the light shining on directly, you don't get that glittery effect that you do elsewhere. And we're going to take it all the way through here and even into the office where we're going to be working. So in here, you see where it's got an unusual ceiling line? There wasn't a clear break of where to stop it. So this is where I'm bad at budgeting. So I was like, okay, we'll do the ceiling as well. So that's going to go all on the walls, and then there's going to be big lettering, Sophie Paterson Interiors, just so you know where you are. With this behind, and I think it looks really nice because it's still very light and bright, but not as stark as the pure white. What do you think, Selena?
Love it.
And this floor, I am being a bit budget conscious. I'm keeping this floor, these really large format tiles, because I think super practical and maybe not exactly what I would choose, but I can definitely work with them. And then we're going to have all the desks are timber, and I think that will be a really nice combination. The timber will add some warmth. But this is definitely warmer than the white that there is right now. Just standing back to have a look at it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's decided. We're making progress. How nice is this? That looks so nice. Yeah, that's a definite. So in here is my office. And big changes that are happening here. You can see they've taken up the threshold. We're going to have bronze crystal style doors here. They're just going to have the frame around the outside because I don't want too much going on where you've got these crystal windows here. That is mostly for an acoustic purpose, so that if I'm doing like film editing or phone calls and I need to have a quiet space, I can just shut the doors. We're going to have acoustic glass on these. And then come on in. This carpet's got to go. And this is what I'm replacing all the carpeted areas with. How chic, rustic chic is this? I love it. This is by Eaton Square. It's called Valencia Herringbone and the colour is chalk. And this is all made from recycled plastic. So I'll put more information and the link in the description box if anyone's interested. But I love how nicely it tones. It just makes it feel a lot softer. It feels quite commercial at the moment. I love how rustic that looks. And then other things that are happening in here. I am carrying on the perlata. So we've got that going on all the walls. And then on this bit of joinery here, I'm doing the oak frame. So this is the oak sample that the joiners have given us. It's going to have a really narrow frame around the doors. And then I'm going to do inset panels of this grass cloth wallpaper, which I love. I think that tones really nicely. Nice little contrast between the wood and just lifts it. And then I'm going to do I think I'm doing the bronze grove handles from our Armac Martin collection, which are those gorgeous bamboo shaped handles. So quite fancy, but I was thinking my computer's going to be here. So when I'm doing my Zoom calls, I need a good Zoom background. I can't just have plain white walls behind me. So I think this will look really, really nice. Just a bit of subtle luxury, nothing too much, because I want to keep it very neutral in here. I always keep my offices really neutral so they don't influence our design. My first office had like lots of purple in it and it really did affect what I was designing, so I've learned from that. And then on my desk, I don't know if any of you watched my previous episodes in the existing office, but I've got a pin board in front of my desk and that's where I pin like inspiration, fabrics that I'm working on for our fabric collection. So I definitely wanted to have another pin board. So here I've got a pin board that I think follows all the way along here, up here, and then I'm gonna have some floating shelves. I'll share the elevation of what that looks like. And for the fabric of the pin board, I've gone for this linen. I'll show you that up close. I tested this and I'm trying to find the holes, but I put lots of pins in it to see if it would leave the little marks from where the pins went in. and this one came out really nicely, so I'll share that with you. This is Andrew Martin Track. The colour is linen. This is actually from one of our collections with Andrew Martin. It's just a great linen fabric. This makes really nice window treatments as well. But here it's going to be my pinboard, my custom pinboard fabric. How beautiful is that? I love. It's giving me Dalesford vibes. Being in here today and filming, it just feels more real. Every time I come here, it's like sinking in that this is our new office. And I think just like looking at all the samples, like the carpet, the joinery, I'm just getting more and more excited. I can't wait to move in. It's just going to be such a beautiful space. And we've worked so hard to get here, and I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. And it's funny because whenever you like design something, like I've loved my office for the like 10, 11 years that I've been there, and it's worked, but now that I know I'm moving in here, every time I'm in my current office, I'm like, oh, this is horrible, I can't wait to move out. Is it just me, or does anyone else love the smell of new carpet? I absolutely love it. It's probably not good for you, but it's just such a lovely smell. It kind of smells like fresh tennis balls as well. I love that smell too. So this right by the front door is quite an interesting scenario because we're going to have 3 different types of flooring in a really small concentrated space. So you've got the coir mat, which is like your doormat. Right now they've got a black, which you think would be practical, but actually you see all the little pine needles that stand out. So we're going to go for a taupe or a natural coloured one that tones really nicely with the tile. And then in the meeting room, you have the tile right next to the carpet. So whenever you have 2 types of flooring right next to each other, it's important to see how they transition and if they tone well. This couldn't be better. I'm really happy with this. So moving into the meeting room, other things that are going to change are these doors. I like them, but I think they could be better. The problem with these is where they are hinge doors and we're going to have a big meeting room table, it's going to come up to here, so it makes it a lot tighter for space. So we're going to swap these for bronze crittle, and I'm getting them from Steel Black Doors, so I'll share their details in the description box. They've been amazing so far. We went to their showroom probably a couple of months ago and I was really, really impressed. But they were a new supplier, so you always take a bit of a risk, and I like to try them on my office or my house before I use them on clients. But they came to survey last week with Anthony and he was super impressed, like real eye for detail, very professional. So really excited for that. And they are going to be sliding all the way across to here, so it's going to be a much bigger area to walk in. As people walk through the front door, you don't have to sort of shuffle past each other. And then we're going to do like a band of opaque glass with the Sophie Paterson Interiors written on it, so it gives a bit of privacy for the clients when they're in here. All along this wall is going to be joinery, so I'll show you what that elevation looks like. We've got that all designed. And then over here, for a little added touch of luxury, we're going to have a sort of a serving station with storage underneath and some storage above. And this is going to have like a marble worktop and splashback, so we're still sourcing that. What I would love is a Calacatta Borghini, and I'll show what that looks like. It's beautiful. It's a bit like Calacatta Oro, but more emphasised veining, much more warm, sort of tan coloured veins, whereas Calacatta Oro can be quite subtle. I think that would tone really nicely with the flooring and just make a real statement. So that's what I would love. But like I say, I need to rein myself in because it is an office at the end of the day, not a 5-star hotel. So next up, we're going to look at the bathrooms. We've got 2 bathrooms side by side. If you saw our last episode where I went to Jessie, London, you would have seen all the sanitary ware that we picked, the beautiful taps. We've gone for the veinty tap, which I absolutely love. But today I'm going to show you more details of the wall covering. So in one of the bathrooms, we are going to do the oak leaf wallpaper, which is beautiful. Look at the detail on that. You see, it's going to be hand embroidered. I think I've got it upside down actually. Which I love because we're in the English countryside, so it feels very appropriate. And then we're doing half height panelling. I'm going to show you the other sample because I'm not sure which colour to go for. I'm either going to do, I think I'm going to do the green actually. I like the green. I think I'll do green half height panelling, which picks up the darker colour in the leaves. And I'll share with you what the elevations of that look like. And then for the vanity unit, It's going to be an oak, light timber oak. The doors are changing as well. These ones are the SWD doors that we did. I'll share a picture of what that looks like. And they've got this amazing fluted bronze panel here. So we are going all out on the luxury. And then on the vanity unit, where I've got an undermounted sink, I'm going to do something like this, which is a Turkish olive. Everyone kind of calls them, bronze Armani is what this particular stone yard has called it. But I want something that picks out those colours of the olives. And you can see it's got the nice veining that kind of corresponds with the branches. So at the moment I'm just talking to quite a lot of stone suppliers to try and get the best price because the budget is through the roof. But how amazing is that going to look? And I'll show you next door. In fact, I'm going to show you in here because it's really dark in there, but it's the same layout. So this is the other one, the olive grove, and then I've picked out the colour of the olives, and for the half height paneling we're going to do it in this dark sort of amethyst aubergine colour. This is by Zoffany Paint, Vesuvius, it's the colour. That's going to look so rich. And then it's got the same mandarin stone tiles and then a vanity unit in this kind of colour. And for this I'd really like to do a Calicata Viola, again budget. But it really needs a Calicata Viola worktop that picks out those same purpley tones, and that would look amazing. And then I'm probably going to have to move in because it's going to be better than my house. So that's the plan from there. But one more exciting thing to show you is this light fixture that's arrived from Hector Finch. It's arrived from Hector Finch, and this is going to go above the front door. Feels like Christmas. Ooh. I'll take this outside to show you where it's going to go. Obviously all that packaging comes out the glass. Let me show you that. I love how it's got the pagoda roof. So this, see where that hideous light up there is? This is going to go up there, which is much more in keeping with the period architecture. And I think that's going to be a really nice finishing touch. I'm going to repaint the front door as well, probably for a taupe. And then I'm going to change all this sandblasted decor on the windows. I don't like this, it's very sort of Art Nouveau, it's not original feature. I might just do like an SPI logo because I just love branding everywhere, but otherwise a lot more simple. So I think that will look really nice. What do you think? I'll put the link in the description box. On the stairs you can see we've got this limestone, which is really nice, but you can also see how it's marking really badly with all the mud of people treading up and down it. So we are going to go for this same carpet that we're using elsewhere, and I'm going to go from the entire length of the step rather than doing a runner because it's such a narrow staircase. And I also think that'll be a bit more forgiving if, God forbid, anyone did ever fall down the stairs or one of the little doggies fell down. The other thing we're going to add, and I'm amazed it doesn't have it already, but we're going to do a bronze handrail up the stairs just to make it a bit more safe. And then if you come round here, this crystal glass section here, I'm changing this panel and I'm going to do one of our screen designs in a custom shape because obviously it's got to fit the triangle, well, I don't even know what that is, pentagon shape, 1, 2, 3, no I don't know, some kind of shape, it's got to fit in there. So we're going to go for the one with the beautiful glass beads and the hammered metal beads, so that will be a real feature. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking down and realising it's got these hideous fire extinguishers and a fire alarm. So now I'm going to have to add to the scope of works to move this fire alarm, preferably to where those switches are by the front door. And these, as long as it complies with health and safety and fire regs, I'm going to put these around the corner where the kitchen is, because that's probably the most likely cause of any fire. So that this will be a beautiful feature, because it's one of the first things you see as you walk in. But also I was standing in the client meeting room and clients will sit in there and look at this wall, and this is just not the vibe, so that's got to go. So I'll take you upstairs now. At one point I was going to do a timber floor, but as it's an old building, the soundproofing isn't amazing and I didn't want to hear people clumping around up here if we've got a client presentation going on downstairs. So we're going to do the same carpet here. It will have to have a join, because I think it comes 4 meters wide, this roll. And this room's a little bit bigger than that, so we're going to have a join, one along here and one on the other side. And how the carpet fitter was telling me they do it is they have underlay the rest of the place, and where they do the join, they have a little section without underlay, and they have to fold it, and then you get two folded seams meet each other. If it was a raw edge, it would fray. He's reassured me that it won't be a trip hazard or bumpy, so hopefully he's right on that. And then the same perlata finish that we've got going downstairs, that's going to go on all the walls, even the ceiling. I think that'll look amazing on that pitch ceiling. And then in here we've got a combination of this timber that we have downstairs, which will be on all the shelves. So here, this whole chimney breast, this is all original. This will be clad in the timber. On this side we'll have the TV. But all the low-level cabinets, so that it's not too much wood, they will be like an off-white spray lacquer. And then the worktops and the shelves will be the timber. And then over here, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be like a big shelving unit full of baskets. This is where all of our fabrics are going to go, categorised by colour. And on the shelves, I just decided the other day, I wanted to add a little bronze plaque. So rather than having the labels on the baskets, which is what we currently do, we're going to have the plaque on the shelf. So as long as everyone puts the right basket back in the right place, it will work really well. And I think that's going to look so, so cool. So that is the plan up here. And then here is going to be a big dining table, meeting table. So this is a breakout area for the team when they're having lunch. Also, we can have our team meetings here because downstairs isn't big enough. And if we have a really big client meeting room, we can do that up here as well. This room makes me feel so happy because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows. So you've got light coming all day long, and you've got beautiful views out into the countryside. I just love looking at these trees. I was looking at these earlier. That gorgeous cedar tree, it's absolutely stunning. Phase like 10 million would be, I'd love to landscape the garden. I don't know if you can see out the window. We have quite a big garden area, and at some point I would love to landscape that so we can make a beautiful space, and we'll have a summer party. And I want to put a light that shines light up onto that cedar tree because I think that'll look so dramatic. But that is in the future. I need to rein myself in. One extra area that I've realised in the last few days since I was looking at all the elevations on Milanote is that where we are adding the wall cabinets, this area being painted doesn't make sense. Right now it kind of does make sense because you could see it go up past the shelves, but once the cabinets are there, and I'll show you what the elevation looks like now, it seems strange that you would have a splashback area that's not covered when it's right by the sink, and it's the one area that you probably would need covered. So I thought I might mix up the materials. This is some kind of quartz material, I'm not sure exactly what because it was already here. I've always loved Zellige tiles. They're just such a gorgeous texture. You want to touch them, feel them. And I love how they're kind of bumpy, and when you look at them in the light, they kind of reflect the light in different ways. Very earthy and artisan. This one's from Mandarin Stone, and it's the Zellige 2022 in ivory glass. I love this one, and I would pick it, except for we have this little return on the wall, and it's not quite wide enough. I'd have to have some joins. So I'm going to pop probably to Mandarin Stone and see if they've got anything similar. This was another one that I picked up from them, which I love, but again, I feel like the proportions don't work that well. It's a little bit too long for this size wall. And then this was another one. Oh, I'll show you what the details of that one was. This was the Loki taupe gloss ceramic, and that's 500 by 50 by 9 millimeters. Beautiful, but probably works better in a bigger area. And then the last option was just a plain white tile. This is Paint Box Milk Gloss Ceramic, 200 ml by 100. And that's nice, but doesn't set my heart alight. I'd really love to do something more interesting. The proportions work well because we could trim it around the corner. And I think you're getting a nice amount of tiles on this elevation. I'd want to make sure I was having enough. But I'd really love to do something with Zellige. So I'm going to pop to their showroom and see if they've got something like this in this kind of size, and I'll feed back to you. we've just got back to our current office, and I hope you guys enjoyed looking around the new office with me. Next time I take you there will be once the building work has started, so you'll get to see all the progress on a regular basis. If you would like to follow us for more regular updates, I'll also be updating on Instagram and TikTok behind the scenes, which is at Sophie Paterson Interiors. Otherwise, take care and I'll see you very soon.